Sam Donaldson, ABC News, Plains, Georgia.
The National Governors Conference opened in Hershey, Pennsylvania today, and Republicans and Democrats agreed on one major matter. The welfare program, spokesman from both parties said, is a mess, and the federal government should take over the cost. Pollster Lewis Harris told the governors that a June survey showed most Americans believe state governments are more trustworthy and closer to the people than is the federal government.
Maxim tastes so close to fresh ground coffee. I swear it perked. Maxim tastes so close to fresh ground coffee. I swear it perked.
Maxim has a rich taste so close to fresh ground coffee, you'll swear it perks.
I could almost swear it perked. See that?
The overweight dog. It's a lot more common than you may think. And overweight dogs are just as unhealthy as overweight people. Your vet can tell you about it. And Cycle 3 can do something about it. Cycle 3, the special food for overweight dogs. It's delicious and just as complete as the leading canned dog food. But it has less fat and 20% fewer calories. To help your dog return to his healthy weight, Cycle 3. Cycle nutrition for the life of your dog.
President Ford wound up a holiday weekend of bicentennial travel today with a visit to Thomas Jefferson's Monticello estate outside Charlottesville, Virginia. There he greeted more than 100 newly sworn citizens, making their big day much bigger. White House correspondent Tom Jarrell reports.
The sun-drenched mountaintop lawn outside the Southern Mansion where Jefferson lived and worked was declared a federal court by Supreme Court Justice Lewis Powell. In the ceremony, 105 new citizens vowed to support the laws and Constitution of the United States. They came from 23 countries as varied as Cuba, Vietnam, and Syria. As new citizens, President Ford urged them to retain their individuality.
I see a growing danger in this country to conformity of thought and taste and behavior. We need more encouragement and protection for individuality. The wealth we have of culture, ethnic and religious and racial traditions are valuable counterbalances to the overpowering sameness and subordination of totalitarian societies.
Mr. Ford acknowledged the Founding Fathers had, as he called it, stubborn blind spots in their lofty vision for blacks and women. But he said this is not the day to deplore shortcomings. He mingled with the crowd and plans to continue to ride the bicentennial wave of public attention by hosting the Queen of England later this week. Next week, while the Democrats are in convention in New York, he plans to remain at his desk. Just as there is political mileage to be gained presiding over bicentennial events, aides hope the image of Mr. Ford being president, while the Democrats are seen politicking, might make him more politically secure in his nip-and-tuck contest with Ronald Reagan. Tom Jarrell, ABC News at Monticello in Virginia.
Politics aside, Americans took today off for the national birthday with vivid memories of yesterday's sights and sounds. Among those sights was the gathering of the splendid sailing ships in New York Harbor for Operation Sail and the International Naval Review. The tall ships kept their sails furled today as they lay on the Hudson, most of them open to visitors. Late in the day, one crowd almost got out of hand and the gates were closed. Bill Redeker joined the fleet this morning.
As the sun met the eastern seaboard today, the tall-masted ships provided a reminder of the past, of a time when New York was a bustling seaport. But today's cargo was people, hundreds of thousands of them, eager to see, to touch, to take pictures of history. For Coast Guard Captain James Kelly, the voyage brought the past into the present.
Well, of course, I've always seen a number of times pictures of the activities, particularly around the South Street area, which had in the 1880s and 1890s many ships, tall ships of this type that are here right now. And I guess we went back into history yesterday and picked some of these thoughts out of the back of my mind. We felt as though we had reversed ourselves by close to 100 years.
Not all 16 ships permitted tours on board. Two Russian vessels, the Krusenstern and the Tovarish, dropped anchor in the middle of the Hudson. Helicopters and police boats circled the two. The Soviet Consul General made the request but would not give an explanation. And there have been a couple of small demonstrations staged against Chile's schooner, the Esmeralda. Pickett's charge it was once used as a torture ship. Chileans deny it. But the biggest problem was caused by those who couldn't wait to see the ships. As guards tried to control the crowd and close the gates this afternoon, thousands pushed forward. One woman was knocked to the ground, but no one was seriously injured.
History will stand still for only a few days. By the middle of the week, these tall ships will hoist anchor, and a nearly deserted New York harbor will return to the 1970s. Bill Redeker, ABC News, in the port of New York.
Listen to Carl Laird, winner in a Publishers Clearinghouse giveaway.
I'm a bank manager and I handle other people's money all day long, but this check from the Publishers Clearinghouse, it's mine. I really want it.
You may be lucky too. Another Clearinghouse giveaway is in the mail now, and it's bigger and better than ever. Top prize, 2 homes or $112,500, plus thousands of other cash prizes just to call attention to our fine magazine values. So check your mail for the Publishers Clearinghouse giveaway and enter now.
I remember the feeling the first time he held me in his arms. And the best thing is, I still feel the same way today.
It shouldn't matter that you wear dentures, not if you use new formula Polident. We've added more cleansers to Polident, more oxygen whitener, and a unique penetrating ingredient, all to make this new formula the best cleaning Polident ever. So you can stay close, as always. New formula Polident. We want you to stay close.
Hey, honey, this DuPont Rally goes on just as easy as that self-polishing wax of yours.
Oh, really?
No, Rally. Rally actually gets off dirt. You know, road film. Your self-polishing stuff is waxing right over it.
Oh, really?
No, Rally. And you know, getting the dirt off makes the car shine better with Rally, too.
Oh, really?
No, Rally.
DuPont Rally, creamer liquid, waxes your car, not the dirt.
You know, Rally is terrific.
Oh, really?
Unless your husband works in an oil field, you've probably never seen stains like these. But for Jill Moore, who wrote us this letter, it's an everyday event.
You know, some days his work clothes are so thick with oil, I just want to get rid of them. And spray and wash is the only way I found to get them clean again. And these days, Betty, who can afford to throw away perfectly good clothes?
Not only tough stains, but everyday stains can ruin clothes, too, you know. Use spray and wash. Get rid of the stains instead of the clothes.
Italy's new parliament opened today, and for the first time in 30 years, a communist was chosen for a top job. Pietro Ingrao became leader of the Chamber of Deputies. At the same time, a veteran Christian Democrat, Amintore Fanfani, became president of the Italian Senate. In the recent elections, communists won 228 seats in the chamber, the Christian Democrats 262 seats. New fighting began and peace talks were put off in Lebanon today. The Christian forces continued their drive against the Palestinian camp at Tal Zatar, and leftists retaliated by opening an attack on the Christian town of Cheka, north of Beirut. Last night, leaders of 4 of the parties met in a mountain resort to talk peace. They were to meet again today, but the conference was canceled without any reason given. In his comment tonight, Howard K. Smith appraises the Israeli commando raid in Uganda and finds it of significance beyond the event itself. Howard?
None of the fireworks of the past weekend compares even nearly with those put on by Israeli commandos in Entebbe Airport in Uganda in Africa Saturday night. When some African leaders have disgorged themselves of obligatory condemnations, many may admit in their secret hearts it was a good thing. Terrorism, whose potential victim is no one nation but civilization itself, was dealt a mortal blow in its most elaborate effort yet. If all nations showed like resolve not to put up with it, it would die, as hijacking of airplanes has died in this country. And all nations had better, in this time of spreading atomic power and the ease with which clever terrorists may come to possess it. For those who don't know it already, it illustrates something people concerned should take into account. A nation capable of so impossibly daring a rescue, and this is but one case, the Israelis have done like things 3 times before, is not going to die or wither under threats or attacks. Israel's existence is a fact of life as hard as steel, and the Palestinians can hope for success only by dropping their belief to the contrary and seeking negotiated terms. And if the Israelis are as smart in diplomacy, which I'm afraid they haven't been, as